It's midnight and you're tuning in to Nightline with me, Nurin Razmyn. The top stories. No electricity tariff hike that will burden the public, says Prime Minister. And South Korea's acting president Duck-Soo impeached as crisis deepens. Good morning. South Korea's leadership crisis deepened on Friday after lawmakers voted to oust its acting president Duck-Soo in less than just 2 weeks. The motion, led by opposition parties, passed with 192 of the 300 votes.
The motion came amid rowdy scenes by People Power Party members who surrounded the Speaker's podium, chanting that the vote was invalid and Parliament had engaged in tyranny, after Speaker Woo Won-sik declared a simple majority would constitute parliamentary approval. In a statement after the vote, Han said he was saddened by the unfolding events meant for the next generation, but accepted the outcome. He added that he would await the decision of the Constitutional Court to review the impeachment motion. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Choi Sang-mok has assumed the role of acting president as the person next in line under the law. Meanwhile, South Korean protesters gathered on Friday calling for the immediate resignation of impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol after acting President Duck-Soo was also impeached by the opposition-led parliament. More than 1,000 rallied near Yoon's residence in Seoul, calling on him to step down and celebrating the impeachment of Duck-Soo.
저는 잘됐다고 생각해요. 사실 이게 한덕수 씨는 지금 거부권을 여러 번 쓰셨잖아요. 근데 이거 자체가 사실 일반적으로 남발하라고 있는 게 아니라서 정말 말이 안 된다고 생각하고요. 사실상 리틀 윤석열이 아닌가 해서 이건 잘 됐다고 생각합니다.
개인이면 솔직히 미약함이 힘일지라도 여러 명 모이면 그게 더 이상은 미약하지 않으니까 그래서 한 명이라도 보태고자 오게 되었습니다.
The government will not allow any increase in electricity tariffs that would burden the majority of the people. Prime Minister Dato Seri Anwar Ibrahim emphasized that he would not approve any proposals for tariff hikes that could negatively impact the general public.
Tadi saya dah hubungi di mana Perdana Menteri Dato Seri Fadilah, Menteri yang bertanggungjawab untuk memberikan minta TNB beri penjelasan. Kita tidak benarkan kenaikan elektrik yang menjejaskan orang ramai. Kenaikan seperti mana yang dulu itu hanya melibatkan golongan atasan yang saya sebut maha kaya ataupun industri yang mencatat keuntungan.
Anwar said this after attending Friday prayers at Masjid Al-Hana in Kuala Langkawi on Friday. While acknowledging the need for Tenaga Nasional Berhad (TNB) to consider tariff adjustments due to rising costs, he stated that any hike should not affect most Malaysians. TNB, in an announcement to Bursa Malaysia on Thursday, proposed a new tariff schedule with a base tariff of 45.62 cent per kilowatt hour for Peninsula Malaysia under Regulatory Period 4 to be implemented starting July 1st, 2025. Under the Regulatory Period 3 from 2022 to 2024, the base tariff is set at 39.95 cent per kilowatt hour. Meanwhile, in a statement, the Energy Transition and Water Transformation Ministry said it was not consulted or informed by TNB regarding the proposed tariff hike for Peninsula Malaysia. Its Minister, Dato Seri Fadila Yusof, said the Ministry and the Energy Commission are still in the process of finalizing the new tariffs, which are expected to come into effect in July next year. He added that the government also assures that the determination of electricity tariffs in the peninsula will consider all aspects, including the welfare of the people. He noted that reviewing the base electricity tariff is necessary due to the need to reassess fuel prices, particularly for coal and gas. However, the government remains committed to protecting domestic users as well as micro, small and medium enterprises and ensure that the tariffs are competitive and affordable. At the same time, it will continue its targeted electricity subsidy initiative.
Now, TNB has clarified that the 14% hike in base tariff under Regulatory Period 4, as reported in the media, is still at the proposal stage. The utility company added that the government will only review the electricity tariff before July next year. TNB explained that the current electricity tariff schedule, which has been in place since 2014, will continue to be in effect, with no change in the electricity tariff rate and tariff structure until June 30th, 2025. The revised structure will take into consideration fuel and gas price forecasts based on projected market trends over the next 6 months. During this period, there will be no increase in electricity tariffs for 85% of domestic users. On another matter, the extensive regional network and expertise of former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra will aid Malaysia and ASEAN in tackling pressing challenges within the region. The Prime Minister stated this following his meeting with Thaksin on Thursday to discuss several critical regional issues.
In a post on his Facebook account on Friday, Anwar described the meeting as engaging and fruitful and expressed confidence in Thaksin, whom he recently appointed as an informal advisor to Malaysia's ASEAN chairmanship. Their extensive discussion also touched on economic revitalization, technological advancements, peace efforts in southern Thailand, and addressing the ongoing crisis in Myanmar. They also exchanged views on efforts to strengthen bilateral ties between Malaysia and Thailand, aligning them with a shared vision for sustainable development and regional unity. Anwar also stated that he and Thaksin are committed to turning that vision into reality.
The Foreign Ministry has dispatched a consular team to provide assistance and support to Malaysians reportedly involved in a bus accident in Norway on Thursday. The ministry also assured that it is in constant communication with the local authorities to gather more information on the incident.
In a statement on Friday, Wisma Putra said that initial reports indicated that the passengers included tourists from Malaysia, China, Singapore, India, the Netherlands, South Sudan, France, and Ukraine. The ministry said it is deeply concerned about the crash which occurred near Lake Asvatnet at about 1:30 p.m. local time. The accident took place amid severe weather conditions, including heavy snowfall and strong winds, causing the bus to lose control, veer off a highway and plunge partially into the lake. It is reported that a total of 58 passengers were on board the bus, with 3 fatalities and 4 individuals severely injured. Local authorities have successfully evacuated all remaining passengers, despite bad weather disrupting rescue efforts. Those injured are currently being treated at the Stokmarknes Hospital. The ministry said it will provide further updates as soon as more information becomes available.
The Customs Department seized 81.34 kilograms of shabu worth 2.6 million ringgit at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA Free Trade Zone last week. The department's Central Zone Assistant Director General Norlila Ismail said the drugs discovered during a routine scan were concealed in parcels falsely declared as stationery.
Modus operandi adalah dengan mengikrar barang dagangan dengan maklumat yang tidak sahih dan butiran dagangan diikrar sebagai stationery, iaitu alat tulis bagi tujuan mengaburi mata pihak berkuasa.
Customs officers found a total of 80 transparent plastic packages containing shabu hidden in 4 parcel boxes. Preliminary investigations revealed that the parcels destined for Kota Kinabalu, Sabah were dropped off at a parcel hub in Shah Alam, Selangor on December 13th by a local man. The suspect allegedly used a fake shipment address under the name of a non-existent company based in Puchong to evade detection. The case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act.
In Perak, police have arrested a woman after a video showing her setting fire to a motorcycle in Taiping went viral on social media. The suspect, in her 40s, was detained at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday to assist investigations under the Penal Code for mischief by fire.
District Police Chief ACP Muhammad Nasir Ismail said the incident is believed to have happened at 3 p.m. The woman was detained after a police report was lodged by a tow truck operator at 4:27 p.m. on the same day. The suspect was then taken to the Taiping District Police Headquarters for further investigation. If convicted, the woman could face up to 14 years in prison or a fine. In a viral video, the woman, a trader, is seen pouring a liquid believed to be petrol onto a motorcycle before setting it on fire near a stall in Poko Assam. This occurred after she refused to cooperate with a tow truck operator who was attempting to repossess the motorcycle due to 20 months of payment arrears. According to police investigations, the vehicle was purchased under her child's name.
An engineer was fined a total of 6,000 ringgit by the Balit Pulau Magistrates Court on Friday for possessing child pornography and obscene videos. Magistrate Chia Huai Ting imposed the penalty on 45-year-old Kueh Lian San after he pleaded guilty to committing both offences.
The court fined Kueh 4,000 ringgit in default of 6 months jail for the first charge of possessing child pornography and 2,000 ringgit in default of 2 months imprisonment for the second charge of possessing obscene videos on his home computer. Both offences were committed at his residence in Taman Sungai Ara, Bayan Lepas last Monday. The charges were framed under the Sexual Offences Against Children Act and the Penal Code, respectively. The accused was among those arrested during the recent integrated operation, OPEDO, conducted by authorities to nab individuals suspected of possessing and distributing child sexual abuse material, CSAM. The operation involved a series of coordinated raids across 6 states, namely Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Johor, Terengganu, Pulau Pinang, and Perak.
In Selangor, 2 men were arrested by police on Thursday following a high-speed chase after attempting to evade a roadblock on the Damansara-Puchong Expressway. Petaling Jaya Police Chief ACP Shahrul Nizam Jaafar stated that during the chase, the suspects also rammed a police patrol vehicle and a motorcycle ridden by a member of the public.
According to Shahrul Nizam, during the 11:30 a.m. incident, members of the Petaling Jaya District Police Mobile Patrol Unit pursued the suspect's car for approximately 30 minutes after it drove against traffic on the highway. Both suspects, aged 30 and 29, were eventually detained in Ara Damansara after a 35-kilometer chase. Police also seized 12.87 grams of shabu found in the suspect's car, along with a weapon believed to be a stun gun. The first suspect, who was driving the car, has 11 prior criminal records, including 5 related to drugs, while the second suspect has 1 previous conviction. The duo have been remanded for 5 days beginning Friday. The case is being investigated for several offences, including attempted murder, speeding, and possession of drugs.
Pulau Pinang, Johor, Selangor, Sarawak and Kuala Lumpur has dominated Malaysia's exports, accounting for 83.8% of the total in November 2024. In a report published on Friday by the Department of Statistics Malaysia, DOSM, exports increased by 5 billion ringgit or 4.1% to 126.6 billion ringgit compared to the same month of the previous year. Chief Statistician Datuk Seri Muhammad Uzair Mahidin said Pulau Pinang remained the top exporter with a 36.4% share, followed by Johor, Selangor, Sarawak and Kuala Lumpur. The increase in exports was attributed to higher exports in most states, including Pulau Pinang, Perak, Labuan, Selangor, Melaka, and Perlis. However, exports declined in Kuala Lumpur, Johor, Kedah, as well as several other states. Meanwhile, imports in November 2024 increased by 1.8 billion ringgit or 6.1% to 111.3 billion ringgit compared to the same month last year. Japanese cabinet on Friday has approved a record $730 billion budget for the next fiscal year, while limiting new bond issuance to the lowest in 17 years on the back of record tax revenue. The budget for the fiscal year that starts in April is estimated at $732.36 billion, up 2.6% from the current year, driven by debt servicing and social security costs. However, record tax revenue is likely to help reduce new bond issuance to $181 billion, the lowest since 2008. As a result, the debt dependence ratio will stand at 24.8%, representing the first drop below 30% since 1998. The US dollar headed towards an almost 7% annual gain on Friday as Japan's yen for a fourth consecutive year of losses, as traders anticipated robust US growth would make the Federal Reserve cautious on rate cutting well into 2025. The dollar index rose 0.08% on Friday to 108.16 to approach a 2.2% monthly rise and was on course to close the year 6.6% higher. The dollar was also nearing a 5.5% gain this month against the yen and an 11.8% advance for 2024 against the weakened Japanese currency, while the euro stayed close to two-year lows. Meanwhile, the yen hovered around levels last seen in July at 157.76 per US dollar. Late Vietnam goals sinks Singapore. Action from the AFF Championship after this breather.
Hands-on, unstoppable, and redefining what it means to lead.
I love self-affirmation. Just tell yourself, I got this.
Yeah.
I can do this. I am capable.
Don't give up. Keep learning. Keep pushing yourself.
Hear the stories that inspire action. Catch us on Women Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3. Stream now on Tonton.
Tak suka, selalu bergaduh.
Awak dengar tak ni?
Saya dengar.
Apa yo?
Tapi kenapa hati ni makin terikat?
Tak cukup mesra kat store, sambung kat sini pula.
Jason tu boyfriend awak ke?
Korang buat apa?
Saksikan drama bersiri vertikal pertama TV3, Benci Jadi Cinta, setiap hari 12.30 hari. Terbaru di TikTok Drama Sangat. Lebih drama, lebih feel.
Masa lalu tidak mungkin dapat diubah, namun masa hadapan boleh dicipta bermula hari ini.
Anugerah Seni Negara 2024, Datuk Seri Hajah Siti Nurhaliza.
Trend lama yang akan kembali ialah flora dan fauna.
Orang tak suka lace, orang suka manik.
Mostly baju kurung tu tetap di hati.
Fungsi aplikasi ni adalah untuk memudahkan kehidupan seharian kita.
Kita kena bergerak seiring dari segi ilmu dan juga kita faham macam mana konsep penggunaannya.
Your conviction, you menyanyi itu memang dengan penuh yakin.
I boleh rasa. Because sebagai penyanyi nak dapat rasa tu susah ya.
Impeached, kamu juga harus tetap terjaga.
That was not an easy song.
You did it lah. Best, malam ni you best.
Hai kawan-kawan pernah tak rasa tak selesa bila ada orang cuba sentuh badan kita? Kawan-kawan ingat tahu badan kita ni milik kita. Kalau ada orang sentuh tapi izin, korang cakap tidak. Lepas tu korang bagi tahu ibu bapa ataupun cikgu ataupun kakak dan abang, okey?
Betul tu. Ingat, tak ada orang yang boleh buat kita rasa takut dan tak selesa. Kita berhak rasa selamat dan dilindungi.
Apabila saya di lay off daripada company lama, sebulan selepas perkahwinan saya, benda tu yang mengganggu emosi dan juga fokus saya.
Tekanan hidup boleh memberi impak yang besar.
Tubuh kita, dia ada mood biasa dan mood luar biasa. Tekanan tu menyebabkan kita luar biasa.
Ketahanan mental berbeza mengikut individu.
Kita love our job sampai kita tak sedar kita sedang penat.
2024, selamat tinggal tekanan. Kami bawakan dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Siapakah watak dalam pasukan negara? Pelaku kes Faisal Halim masih misteri.
Sebab esik kot, takkan tak boleh nak ni kan, kenapa?
Kalau orang yang melakukan pada Faisal Halim, dia suka melihat suffer. Dana sukan belum cukup untuk mas pertama Olimpik. 200 tu tak cukup sebenarnya. Bukan saja atlet yang kita perlu bangun, kita perlu bangunkan jurulatih. Saksikan podcast edisi khas Buletin TV3 jam 10 pagi 28 Disember menerusi YouTube dan Facebook Buletin TV3.
We're back with sports football. The national football team will have a chief executive officer soon. Johor Region and Johor Darul Takzim JDT FC owner Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim, who is overseeing the national team project, said he is almost done identifying the individual.
In a social media post on Friday, Tunku Ismail said that the candidate for this position must be someone with professional expertise in football to effectively integrate the technical, commercial and intrapersonal aspects of the sport. This will be the first time the national team will have a CEO on board to manage it. His announcement came after the Football Association of Malaysia, FAM, recently announced the hiring of Australian Peter Klimowski as the head coach of the national team.
Some football action now, the 2024 AFF ASEAN Championship. Kike Linares scored a stoppage time goal as the Philippines stunned defending champions Thailand 2-1 in the first leg of the semi-final on Friday night. The Philippines opened the scoring 21 minutes into the game through Sandro Reyes before Supanan Birarat equalized for the visiting side to make it 1-1 just before the end of the first half. Just when things seemed to be heading for a draw, Linares struck the winner in added time to give the Philippines a slight advantage going into the second leg on Monday.
In another match, two-time champions Vietnam had to work hard before securing a comfortable 2-0 win over Singapore in the first leg of the semi-final. After the match looked to be ending goalless, Nguyen Tien Linh converted from the spot in the dying minutes to give the visitors a 1-0 lead. Chuan Son Nguyen then scored from close range 14 minutes into second half stoppage time, marking his third goal in 2 games and sealing the crucial victory for Vietnam. The second semi-final between Vietnam and Singapore is scheduled to take place on Sunday.
Condolences pour in over the demise of Mohan Singh. The details when Nightline returns.
Your conviction, you menyanyi itu memang dengan penuh yakin.
I boleh rasa. Because sebagai penyanyi nak dapat rasa tu susah ya.
Tapi pitch kamu juga harus tetap terjaga.
That was not an easy song.
You did it lah. Best, malam ni you best.
Bila saya di lay off daripada company lama, sebulan selepas perkahwinan saya, benda tu yang mengganggu emosi dan juga fokus saya.
Tekanan hidup boleh memberi impak yang besar.
Tubuh kita, dia ada mood biasa dan mood luar biasa. Tekanan tu menyebabkan kita luar biasa.
Ketahanan mental berbeza mengikut individu.
Kita love our job sampai kita tak sedar kita sedang penat.
2024, selamat tinggal tekanan. Kami bawakan dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Kucing anda ada personality superstar? Inilah masa si comel sertai pertandingan Cat Fashion Week. Hantar video 1 minit paling bergaya. Email ke kontes@tv3.com.my atau muat naik ke media sosial sebelum 31 Disember. Jangan lupa hashtag kucing terpilih bakal melangkah ke pusingan seterusnya dengan hadiah menarik. Info lanjut di TV3 Malaysia. Jadikan si bulus anda super meowdel terfamous.
Hidup ini umpama lautan bergelora. Ada yang dipukul badai rahsia.
Awak tak sempurna.
Di lambung ombak derita.
Dija jaga mami ya.
Tenggelam dalam kehilangan. Dan terumbang-ambing mencari sinar.
Tasbih ini bagi manfaat pada awak.
Cerita Rama setiap Sabtu di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Mira nak kongsikan sedikit panduan keselamatan anak ketika di luar rumah. Pastikan keadaan sekeliling, pantau pergerakan anak dan jangan biarkan mereka berkeliaran jauh daripada anda. Elakkan pemakaian barang kemas yang berlebihan. Yang terakhir, boleh bawa whistle bersama. Jerit sekuat hati atau tiup whistle untuk menarik perhatian orang sekeliling sekiranya diganggu atau merasa terancam. Dapatkan pelbagai informasi bermanfaat bersama Nona setiap Ahad jam 2 petang di TV3.
Hands-on, unstoppable, and redefining what it means to lead.
I love self-affirmation. Just tell yourself, I got this.
Yeah.
I can do this. I am capable.
Don't give up. Keep learning. Keep pushing yourself.
Hear the stories that inspire action. Catch us on Women Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3. Stream now on Tonton.
And we're back with news on the foreign front. Early indications have suggested a Russian anti-aircraft system may have downed the passenger jet that crashed in Kazakhstan, as authorities recovered a second black box that they hope will shed light on the cause of the disaster that killed dozens of people. According to U.S. officials, the signs point to a Russian system striking Azerbaijan Airlines flight J28243 before it crashed near the city of Aktau. If the early indications are ultimately confirmed, it may have been a case of mistaken identity, in which poorly trained Russian units may have fired negligently against Ukraine's use of drones. However, officials from Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and Russia urged people not to speculate about the crash until investigations have concluded. Former Indian Prime Minister Mohan Singh has died at the age of 92 while undergoing care for age-related medical conditions in New Delhi.
Singh was admitted to New Delhi's All India Institute of Medical Sciences late on Thursday after his health deteriorated due to a sudden loss of consciousness at home. According to the hospital, resuscitative measures were started immediately at home, but he was brought to the medical emergency at 8:06 p.m. local time. However, despite all efforts, Singh could not be revived and was declared dead at 9:51 p.m. A mild-mannered technocrat, Singh became one of India's longest-serving prime ministers for 10 years and leader of the Congress Party in the Parliament's upper house, earning a reputation as a man of great personal integrity.
Meanwhile, condolences from world leaders began to pour in the early morning hours on Friday following the passing of Singh. Among those expressing their condolences was Duck-Soo Anwar Ibrahim, who described Singh as a cherished friend and a pivotal figure in India's modern history. In a statement on X, the Prime Minister said the praise that will follow in the days ahead will be truly well-deserved. He added that although Singh was slightly awkward as a politician, he was undeniably upright, steadfast and resolute as a statesman, leaving behind a legacy that will inspire generations to come. In Gaza, at least 50 people, including 5 medical staff, were killed after a Zionist strike targeted the Kamal Adwan hospital on Friday. The Zionists started a siege demanding the patients and medical staff leave as they continue their attacks on the facility, endangering the remaining 75 patients there. Meanwhile, the regime attacked a house overnight in Gaza City, killing at least 9 people. Elsewhere, the head of the World Health Organization was at Yemen's Sana'a airport on Thursday when it was bombed by Zionist warplanes, which saw at least 6 people killed. However, there was no immediate comments from Israel on the incident. This time around. Before we leave, let's take a look at the Light and Motion Putrajaya Festival 2024. The Lampu 2024, which kicked off on Friday night, is expected to attract more than 1 million viewers. With that, I'm Nurin Razmyn. Thank you for watching and stay safe.